If anyone should ever hurt you, if anyone should ever hurt you and say a thing unkind, remember that I tell you and keep these things in mind. For everyone that who makes you cry, there are three who makes you smile, and a smile will last a long, long time, but a tear just a little while. If someone says a thing that's cruel, don't let it go to you. There is so much good about you, and your faults are very few. So if a certain someone should act a certain way, just think of those who love you and don't let it ruin your day. Don't let someone who hates the world cause you to hate it too, for behind the cloud is a golden sun and the sky that's bright and blue. If I had my life to live over, I would have talked less and listened more. I would have invited friends to dinner even if the carpet was stained and the sofa faded. I should have. Would have eaten popcorn in the good living room and worried much less about the dirt when someone wanted to light a fire in the fireplace. I would have taken the time to listen to my grandfather ramble about his youth. I would never have insisted a car windows be rolled up on a summer day because my hair would have been teased and sprayed. I would have burned the pinkle candle sculpted like a rose before it melted in storage. I would have sat on the lawn with my children and not worried about the grass stains. I would have cried less while watching television and laughed more while watching live. I would have gone to bed with the sick when I was sick, instead of pretending the earth would go into a holding pattern if I weren't there for the day. I would never have bought anything just because it was practical, wouldn't show soil, or was guaranteed to last a lifetime. Instead of wishing away 9 months of pregnancy, I would have cherished every moment, realizing that the wonder growing inside me was the only chance in life to assist God in a miracle. When my kids kissed me impetuously, I would never have said, let her now go get washed up for dinner. There would have been more I love yous and more I'm sorries, but mostly given another shot at life, I would seize every moment, look at it and really see it, live it and never give it back. Images of an older man. Images of an older man gazing outside his window, wonders where the time was spent searching for something to follow. He's old and forgotten in the modern world outside. He's tired and he's beaten. His age he cannot hide. Images of the olden man. His eyes, they tell it all. Our face, who's seen many a year, and the wrinkles reveal it all. The hopes and dreams once dreamt, I have passed forever on. They have shattered into reality, and the memories linger on. Images of an older man can be as grave as they can see. Many days of the lost yesteryears add up miraculously. He's lost, he's lonely, he hasn't anyone no more. He hasn't any future, he knows death. It's at his door. Images of an older man remembers back in time. He has his head held in his hand, pretending not to find. Images of an older man. I used to work in a woolen mill as a kid. It's tough, hard work and dirty too. With an older man, he worked every day of his life. Retiring was out of the question. I caught him one day eating his lunch near the window, just staring out. He didn't realize I was watching him. I would worry about him. He would not frill. He was so frail, but he was at work every day. He walked, didn't have a car. I think this was when I learned, if you didn't do something with your life, well, life would do something to you. The last time I saw him, he stroked out of the floor at work, so sad. I ran downstairs as fast as I could do, calling out for my boss. He called for an ambulance. They put him in an ambulance and never heard anything about him after that. My boss said he didn't know what happened. He had no family, but his gazing out the window haunted me for the longest time, so I wrote this poem into my life. One of the wishes is that those dark trees, so old and firm they scarcely show the breeze, were not as it were the merest mass of the gloom, but stretched away unto the age of the doom. I should not be withheld, but that some day into that vastness I should steal away, fearless of ever finding open land or highway where the slow wheel bore the sand. I do not know why I should never turn back, or those should not be set forth upon my track to overtake me who should miss me here, and long to know if I held them dear. They would not find me changed from them, they knew only more sure of all I thought was true. Kindness. Kindness planted in the soil of another with a need, will one day blossom back to you, a product of his spirit seed. Listen to what I say. You think I'm old and boring, outdated and passing? It's true, the parties I once had are not out of not my style today, but with age, some experience. So listen to what I say. Remember, I have been dead when eventually found my way. Love is above all the gift of to oneself, of oneself. Mama, how did you get so many lines in your face? Mama, how did you get so many lines in your face? They are not lines, my child. They are the signs of wisdom. Wisdom to know when to listen and wait. Wisdom to know that after every storm comes the calm. Wisdom to know we are only on this earth for a while. Wisdom to know who's those we love will always be in our hearts. Wisdom to know to wrongs don't make it right. Wisdom to know all battles can be won. Wisdom to know the path I have taken is the right one. Wisdom to know not to interfere unless asked. Wisdom to know I walk with angels every day. Wisdom to know, my child, as all I did for you, I did with love. Many people ask, how can we strive? How can we continue? How can we manage to survive? To look at to be the best is all that I can say. To make it a competition every day is brand new day. We barely stop to look at the life that's passing by, and then we reach the end. We're always asking why should we miss it all? And no one made us see just how important life and love can really be. We have no one to blame. What else we choose to miss? For why we lived in misery instead of choosing bliss. But those who can appreciate all that life brings our way, when asked this very question, will know just what to say. Memory. In seeking heaven, we may someday find that we have walked through it many times without knowing until our memory tells us so. Miscellaneous quotes. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. Age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Do the things you fear most, and the death of the fear is certain. Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today, day after tomorrow. Miss me, but let me go. When I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rise in the gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Miss me a little, but not too long, and not with your head bowed low. Remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is the journey that we all must take, and each must go alone, as all part of the Master's plan as step on the road of home. When you are lonely and sick of heart, go to the friends we know and bury your sorrows in doing good deeds. Miss me, but let me go. My love, I see your smile, I touch your face, I feel like I can't breathe. A breath of air, a silent space, just memorize me, take me to my quiet place where I belong. Please stay with me, for now, my love, I have to leave. Keep me in your memories. My message. What is my message? I say with Nabokov. I'm a poet, not a postman. I have no message, but I want the cadences of my verse to crack the carapace of indifference, prize open to orbitals, thick coated with silver. I want syllables that will dance beauty to the fantasies of the nymphs. I want vowels that float into the dreams of old man. I want my consonants to project kaleidoscopic visions on the screen of the blind and on the eardrums of the deaf. I want pentameters that sing like 10,000 melodies. I want such rhythms as will shake pine as Angsana, oak, and Meranti out of their Pacific, slumber uproot themselves, hurtle over buzzsaw and bulldozer, and rush to crush with long, heavy toes, merchants of defiliance. I want stanzas that will put a Sten gun in the paw of the polar bear and tiger, and harpoon under the fin of every sail, whale, and dolphin, arm them to a stare massacre of their number. I want every punctuation, full stop, comma, and semicolon to turn into a grain of barley, millet, maize, wheat, and rice in the mouths of our hungry. I want each and every metaphor to be metamorphosed into the rooftop over the heads of our homeless. I want the assonances of my song to put smiles on the faces of the sick and the destitute and the lonely, pump adrenaline into the veins of every farmer and worker, the battle second and the weary. And yes, I want the poems to leap out from the page, rip off the covers of my book, and march forthrightly into that sea of somnolent humanity, lay bare the verbs, vowels, syllables, consonants, and saying, they are my soul's my bones. This is my disintended belly. Here I've been dragged and hungry in that place I bled, was tortured around this electric cross, I died. Brothers, sisters, here I am. My secret. I have a secret. How long can I keep it? If I tell you my secret, how long can you keep it? If we both should share my secret and those others repeat it, I won't have a secret. My wish for you. Quit strolls on moonlight night, playgrounds, endless laughter, blooming roses in the spring, the glow of the morning after, walking barefoot in the grass, a poem that makes you cry, the feel of silk upon your skin, an eagle when it flies, love songs on the radio, old couples holding hands, newborn kittens nursing enthusiastic fans, sitting on the porch swing, sipping lemonade, admiring the beauty in all that God has made, watching for a shooting star, a breeze that cools things down, the first snows of winter, a night out of the town, little acts of kindness, a loving word or two, simple things of to treasure. These things I wish for you. Oh, Statue of Liberty! Oh, Liberty, wherefore are you, Liberty? Searching into the depths of ocean and space and in hearts of men, you are nowhere. Is it freedom of expression and speech abusive and offending? Is it freedom of mighty subjugating the meek? Unconcerned, you hold the torch high in the sky, hoping to light it up. From sun and stars, that plight of agony springs in my heart's a dream. See you alive, holding a divine flame, enlightening the hearts of men. I, alas, human made, creature of time, shall perish into the heap of stone and rubble. The last man, searching the inner recesses of heart, shall shed a tear on thy plight. Our children. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in the dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday potential. How sad to reach eternity and find there was more that we could be. Would it be as if a tree stayed small when it could grow mighty, strong and tall? Reflection. This poem is titled Always There. I hope you enjoy it. Always there. From the beginning of time, it was always there, no matter how hard I tried. It never left my side. We laughed together, we cried together, we did everything friends would do. It was my ace, boom, boom, my root dog. Whatever I wanted to do, it was there. It wasn't until I confronted me face to face who I was really hanging out with. Like I said before, whatever I wanted to do, it was there. It showed me how we did everything together. I couldn't handle it. I didn't even know who it was. So, word of advice, think about your actions before you are confronted by your own reflection. Soulful thoughts. When thoughts and feelings are unified, my inner conflict is gone. Agreement is reached within myself, making my life whole and strong. If I can believe this is true, happiness I find and prolong. Strength and courage. It takes strength to be certain. It takes courage to have doubts. It takes strength to fit in. It takes courage to stand out. It takes strength to share a friend's pain. It takes courage to feel your own pain. It takes strength to hide your own pain. It takes courage to show it and deal with it. It takes strength to stand guard. It takes courage to lay down your guard. It takes strength to conquer. It takes courage to surrender. It takes strength to endure abuse. It takes courage to stop it. It takes strength to stand alone. It takes courage to lean on a friend. It takes strength to love. It takes courage to be loved. It takes strength to survive. It takes courage to live. Take time. Take time to think. It is a source of power. Take time to read. It's the foundation of wisdom. Take time to play. It's the secret of staying young. Take time to be quiet. It's opportunity to see God. Take time to be aware. It's opportunity to help others. Take time to love and be loved. It's God's greatest gift. Take time to laugh. It's the music of soul. Take time to be friendly. It's the road to happiness. Take time to dream. It is what the future is made of. Take time to pray. It is the greatest power of ABCs of an inspired life. Ask for what you want. Be who you say you are. Care about others. Dare to live your dreams. Ease through the day. Find the best fit. Give to another. Hug a friend. Inspire someone to greatness. Jump over a launch boundary. Kick a bad habit. Leap across a fear. Mention something uplifting. Never say never. Open your mind and heart pursue your innermost passions, quite complaining, restore your smile, set your sights high. Trust yourself, use all the day, value everything, wait until it feels right, express yourself, yank weeds from your mental garden, zoom into the now. The carpenter. An elderly carpenter was ready to retire. He told his employer contractor of his own to leave the house business and live a more leisurely life. With his wife enjoying his extended family, he would miss the paycheck, but he needed to retire. They could get by. The contractor was sorry to see such a good worker go and asked if he would build just one more house as a personal favor. The carpenter said yes, but in time it was easy to see that his heart was not in his work. He restored to shoddy workmanship and used inferior materials. It was an unfortunate way to end a dedicated career. When the carpenter finished his work, the employer came to inspect the house. He handed a front door key to the carpenter. This is your house, my gift to you. The carpenter was shocked. What a shame. If he had known he was building his own house, he would have done it so differently. So it is with us. We build our lives one day at a time, often putting less than our best into our building. Then, with a shock, we realize we have to live in the house we have built. If we could do it over, we would do it much differently, but we cannot go back. We are the carpenter. Each day you hammer a nail, place a board, or erect a wall. Life is to do it yourself project, someone has said. Your attitudes and your choices you make today will build the house you may live in tomorrow. Build wisely, remember. Work like you don't need the money. Love like you have never been hurt. Dance like nobody's watching. The hand that rocks the cradle. They say the man is mighty. He governs land and sea. He wields a mighty scepter over lesser powers that be. But a mightier power and stronger man from the throne has hurled, and the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world. The invitation. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want you to know what you ache for. And if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing, it doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving or to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wilderness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. You can hear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not plenty every day, and if you can source of your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon. Yes, it doesn't interest me to know where you live and how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. The magic of Christmas. Joy to the world, the colors sang out as the last-minute shoppers scattered about, desperately seeking the one special gift that would give Christmas morning a magical lift. As an old man stood standing, listening to the song, missed all the madness of the bustling throng. In a shaky, hoarse voice, he began to join in, singing the words of a famous old hymn. One by one, people stopped with their madness to join the old man for a moment of gladness. By the time the carol was finished with singing this song, the whole throng was united as they all sang along. long as if by magic from out of the sky. Church bells rang out from the chapels nearby, and when it was over, the people greeted each other with messages of good that they shared with one another. You see, the magical lift that shoppers sought for so long was not in buying and scooting along. The magical gift was so desperately sought with the spirit of Christmas, which would never be bought. The oyster. There once was an oyster whose story I tell, who found with some sand had got into his shell. It was only a grain, but it gave him great pain, for oysters have feelings, although they are so plain. Now did he bear the harsh working of it that brought him to such a deplorable state? Did he curse at the government, cry for election, and claim that the sea should have given him protection? No, he said to himself as he lay on a shell. Since I cannot remove it, I'll try to improve it. Now the years have rolled around as the years always do, and he came to his ultimate destinies too. And the small grain of sand that had bothered him so was a beautiful pearl, all richly aglow. Now the tale has a moral, for isn't it grand what an oyster can do with a morsel of sand? What couldn't we do if only we would begin with some of the things that get under our skin? The path. As I walk the path of life, I reach a fork in the road. Do I take the path less traveled? Do I take the easy way through? Look back, I've always taken the path less traveled. It has always made me who and what I am. Often I would say, if I only knew, maybe I would have chosen the other. I'm happy with who I am. I'm looking back. If I had changed one thing, it would not be here with you. I would not be here with you at this place and at this time, that I may not always be happy. I'm thankful for you in my life. Forward, our life is no easy path, but if I need to struggle on my way, I'm happy I have you to pick me up, dust me off. Thank you for being at the crossroads of life. The truth. We subject ourselves to group. We say we are not good enough. We can't do it. But what we don't say, what we can't believe, we are our best selves. We are as beautiful as the sky. No one person is superior. Our lack of self-confidence will destroy us. But deep down, we are brave, we are strong, we are beautiful inside and out. I'm saying what you are too afraid to be, to maybe now, to scare. You can say what you have always known. The wind. I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I would end up, well, I think only God really knows. I have sat upon the setting sun, but never, I never wanted water once. No, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake, but never, I'll never make the same mistake. No, never. War is not the answer. What's not the answer, for no matter how you try, for every evil one you kill, 1,000 innocents will die. What you say is not always what you say. Sitting alone in a bar one night, I watched a man leaving stumble as he reached the door. Unbalanced, he slipped and fell to the floor, dead drunk, sobbing, plainly aching and worn. The male drinker grinned and saw comedy. Women drinkers frowned and saw stupidity. I eyed the mishap with sympathy and clarity, perceiving misery, giving support with objectivity. We all harbor internal traits some would deny exist, not discussed or admitted that we try to resist. But extraordinary insight is a gift that should be treasured. Its value cannot be scientifically or objectively measured. Its intrinsic worth is that it seeks and finds truth. With deeper understanding, it rejects easy answers. It examines seemingly common occurrences for proof of the source that triggers commonplace incidents, effectively evading the facade framing human events. This remarkable insight doesn't see the future it can predict. Its precious tool absent fear, threat, or conflict, gifted upon an individual by a nameless, mystifying entity. As you observe life, what you see is not always what you say. When holding baby's hand, we dream of what our future holds. We plan what lies ahead. We knew we would find our truest self when holding baby's hand. Wise old owl. A wise old owl sat in an oak. The more he heard, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why aren't we all like the wise old bird? Wonder to me. Wonder to me is a good place to be. It helps you to think, it helps you to see. Life's full of twists and turns will abound, but wonder and insight can guide you around. Explore what you may and fill up your mind and hold in your heart the mysteries you find. Wonder is only saying you yearn to know and select the things that you learn. And making a choice in which way you turn, the best path you take will always be right. Is each new step you take when you listen and hear will give you more courage and freedom from fear. No wonder, my child, rid of your doubt, and you will rejoice in how you turn out. And though you may fall and struggle too, know that I have been there and will always love you, wondering in your gentle quietness. Wondering in your gentle quietness, I wonder in your gentle quietness just what you're thinking. Are you questioning the mysteries of the wind blowing through the sweeping branches of the sweeping willow? Are you contemplating the wonders of the ducks? What are the ducks saying when they quack? Are you questioning how the sun stays in the sky? I want you to know there is something you never have to ponder. The love that I have for you will never leave you nor fade away. It is here from the day you were born till forever. I may never know what happens in your mind while you're in the quiet thought, but I can live with that because I know it's a wonderful, just like you, word of sunshine. Have a heart that never hardens, and a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts. A wise old sage said. The Lord gave you 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 mouth. The first 2 are slightly north, the latter slightly south. He gave you more of some and less of the others, so as to look and listen more and to talk and hurt one another. So take some sage advice and work in the following order. First, survey the landscape and keep reactions within that border. Then listen carefully and deeply what others have to say before opening your mouth and putting your ignorance out on display. Wisdom. When I have ceased to break my wings against the faultless of things, and learned that compromises wait behind each hardly open gate, when I have looked life in the eyes, grown calm and very coldly wise, life will have given me the truth and taken in exchange my youth. Wisdom. The true faith discovered was when painted panel, statuary, glass mosaic window glass amended what was told already by some peasant gospeller. Swept by sawdust from the floor of that working carpenter, miracle had his playtime fear in the damask cloth and the honest see Christopher Latine said about it. His Majesty mother said, stitching at a purple hooded that he might be nobly braced. In steady towers of Babylon was freshest never reached. King Abundance got him on innocence and wisdom. He, that Congo man, sounded best, considering what wild infancy drove horror from his mother's breast. The path. Best of the past is the eightfold. Best of the truths is the four. Best of the virtues is freedom from attachment. Best of the people is the one who sees this is the path. There is no other that leads to the purifying of inside. Follow this path and Mara will be confused. If you follow this path, you will end up your suffering. This path was preached by me. When I became aware of the removal of the thorns, you yourself must take the effort. The perfected ones are only preachers. Those who enter the path and practice meditation are released from the bondage of Mara. All created things perish. Whoever realizes this transcends pain. This is the clear path. All created things are sorrow. Whoever realizes this transcends pain. This is the clear path. All forms are unreal. Whoever realizes this transcends pain. This is the clear path. Whoever does not rise when it is time to rise, who, though young and strong, is lazy, who is weak and well and